हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। आज जिस टॉपिक पे मैं वीडियो बना रही हूँ वो MPS 001 पार्ट 2 व्हाट इज़ पॉलिटिकल थियोरी एंड वाई स्टडी इट। पिछले पार्ट में मैंने नोट्स प्रोवाइड कराए थे। अब मैं बाकी के नोट्स प्रोवाइड करा रही हूँ इस चैप्टर के, फिर ये चैप्टर जो है आपका कंप्लीट हो जाएगा। तो शुरू करते हैं। पॉलिटिकल थियोरी, ग्रोथ एंड एवोल्यूशन। Political theory has in the West passed through different stages. There was a time when, during the ancient Greek and the medieval period, political theory would concern itself with identifying the ethical goals of the state, that is, the objectives which the state would cherish to achieve. Both Plato and Aristotle would insist on the functions of the state to establish justice or give the individual a good life. The medieval political theory, associated as it was with religion, demanded of the state to prepare and train the individual to seek a place with God. The early modern age political theory sought to discuss theories of the origin of the state, followed by philosophers with whom the organization and functions of the state were major concern of the state. The mid 20th century political theory dealt largely with the institution of the state, making the concept of power to be the basic theme of the state. The growth and evolution of political theory can be elaborated in the three major streams, that is classical political theory, modern political theory, and contemporary political theory. First, we are going to study about classical political theory. Classical political theory emerged in the ancient Greek culture in the writings of Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle and continued until the beginning of the 19th century. The classical paradigm, according to Sheldon Wallen, relating to political theory consisted of the following. Classical political theory aimed at acquiring reliable knowledge about matters concerning the people, a philosophical pursuit to establish a rational basis for belief, a politically inspired pursuit to establish a rational basis for action. It sought to identify the political with the public, the common, the Greek polis, the Roman republican, and the medieval age usage of commonwealth, all denoted a sharing of what was common among the people as partners. Its basic unit of analysis was always the political whole, the body politic, the interrelated structure denoting activity, relationship and belief, activity relating to ruling, welfare, education, religious practice, relationship involving those between social clauses, between the rulers and the ruled, between the superior and the inferior, beliefs such as justice, equality, natural law, and the like. Relating itself to the political whole, the classical political theory laid emphasis on order, balance, equilibrium, stability, and harmony. That is why it is in the process dwelt on terms such as conflict, anarchy, stability, instability, and revolution. Classical political theory laid stress on comparative studies for supplying a more comprehensive explanation of political phenomena and a wider range of alternative. That was the reason that classical political theory developed a classification of political forms, example monarchy, aristocracy, democracy, and their variant, and a set of concepts such as law, citizenship, justice, and participation, so as to explain differences and similarities between them. Classical political theory had been largely ethical in perspective. Its response was rooted in a moral outlook. Plato advocated the ideal state, Aristotle a state that can achieve the best possible, St. Augustine the city of God. Classical political theory undertook to appraise the various constitutional forms to determine the form most suitable for a particular set of circumstances and to decide if any absolutely the best form possible. Classical political theory, by projecting the best form of polity as the ideal, reveal the boldness and radicalism of classical theorizing, though some dismiss such an attempt as merely utopian and visionary. Next topic is modern political theory. Modern political theory encompasses in itself a host of diverse trends such as the institutional, structural, scientific, positivistic, empirical, behavioral, most post behavioral, and the Marxist. Modern political theory, beginning with the liberal stance from the 15th to 16th century and later expressing itself in the institutional positivist, empirical, behavioral, and post behavioral trends, dubbed the whole classical tradition as dull. Modern political theory, with its Western liberal democratic shade, attempted to build a science of politics objective, empirical, observational, measurable, operational, and value free. Its features can be summed up as under: facts and data constitute the basis of study. These are accumulated, explained, and then used for testing hypotheses. Human behavior can be studied, and regularities of human behavior can be expressed in generalization. Subjectivity gives a way to objectivity, philosophical interpretation to analytical explanation, purpose to procedure, descriptive to observational, normative to scientific. Facts and values are separated, values are so arranged that the facts become relevant. Methodology has to be self conscious, exploit, and quantitative. Interdisciplinary synthesis is to be achieved. What it is regarded as more important than either what it was or what it ought to be or could be. Values are to support fact, substance to form, and theory to research, and status quo to social change. At the other end of modern political theory stands the Marxist political theory, also called the dialectical materialist or the scientific socialist theory. It described the general laws of motion in the development of all phenomena. Next topic is contemporary political theory. Contemporary political theory is mainly concerned with the explanation, investigation, and ultimately with the comprehension of what relates to politics, concept, principles, and institution. David Held sums up by saying that contemporary political theory is first the philosophical concern above all with the conceptual and normative, the empirical analytic concern above all with the problems of understanding and explanation, the strategic concern above all with an assessment of the feasibility of moving from where we are to where we might like to be. To these, one must add the historical, the examination of the changing meaning of political discourse, its key concept, theories, and concern over time. According to David Hell, the following are the characteristic features of contemporary political theory. Contemporary political theory has been viewed as the history of political thought, involving an attempt to examine the significance of text in their historical context. It has sought to revitalize the discipline as a form of conceptual analysis and, in the process, finding political theory as a systematic reflection upon and classification of the meanings of the key forms and concepts such as sovereignty, democracy, justice, and the like. It has been developed as the systematic elaboration of the underlying structure of our moral and political activities, the disclosure, examination, and reconstruction of the foundations of political value. It has been revitalized as a form of argument concerned with abstract theoretical question and particular political issue. It has been championed as a critic of all forms of foundationalism, either the postmodernist or the liberal defenders. It accordingly presents itself as a stimulant to dialogue and to conversation among human beings. It has been elaborated as a form of systematic model building influenced by theoretical economics, rational choice the theory, and game theory. It aims to construct formal models of political processes. It has developed as the theoretical enterprise of the discipline of political science. As such, it attempts to construct theory on the basis of observation and modest empirical generalization. Next topic is why study political theory. Political theory is not merely an illusion, it is not dead. Its relevance lies in its being a practical activity. It not only gives us a theory of man, society, or history, but also gives us a theory of action, reform, revolution, or conservation. Political theory is no easy and simple enterprise, it is an elaborate and consistent exercise aiming to achieve a better world of politics. Political theory requires the philosophical analysis of concept and principle and the empirical understanding of political processes and structure. Neither philosophy nor science, in their individual capacity, can easily replace the other in the projection of political theory. This is so because systematic political knowledge, embodying generalization about patterns of political life, is possible, and the efforts to achieve it are rather should be the major task of political theory. Next topic is task before political theory. There are definitive tasks before political theory. As a science, it has, as David Held explained, the following function: to identify the significant political variable and describe their mutual relation. To ensure this, an analytic scheme is essential. This would render research meaningful and arrange facts leading to generalization. The existence and wide acceptance of land and consensus by workers in the field on a theoretical framework which would enable the results of the various researches to be compared. It would help in the verification of conclusion drawn up by the earlier researches and may also reveal the areas of research which require empirical work. Finally, the existence of a theoretical framework or at least a relatively consistent body of concept making research more reliable. As a philosophy, political theory has to go beyond science. It has to study as a science a phenomenon, but as a philosophy, it has to understand the phenomena. The tasks before political theory are enormous and differential. Some of these are: with Rawls, political theory as a branch of moral philosophy has been described as essentially normative. Accordingly, the task of political theory is not only to develop general principles for evaluating the social structure, but also to design appropriate institution, procedure, and policy. Political theory is primarily contemplative and a reflective inquiry concerned to understand human existence in general. Now, the last topic is significance of political theory. The significance of political theory has been under a cloud by scholars mostly of the behavioralist school. According to John Plumnuts, political theory has its own uses which may be stated as under. Political theory is a serious and difficult intellectual activity, and the need for this kind of exercise in modern time is indeed much greater. It is a study of values, norms, and goals, though it does not produce same kind of knowledge as empirical political theory does. It is a study of theories which have historically powerfully influenced men's images of themselves and of society and profoundly determined their social and political behavior. It is an element of socially conditioned ideology. This ideology may be an illusion, and yet, unless man had this illusion, the course of social development would not have been what it is. It produces a coherent system of political principles which guide us to an appropriate political action. So, this was my video, and here ends the chapter. If you like my video, please इफ़ अगर आपको वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए चैनल को। इस चैप्टर के नोट्स तैयार हैं, अगर किसी को चाहिए हो PDF फॉर्मेट में तो मेरे व्हाट्सअप नंबर पे कांटेक्ट कर सकता है। नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में मैं अपना व्हाट्सअप नंबर दे दूँगी, आप उसको सिर्फ मैसेज करना है, कॉल नहीं करना है। इस चैप्टर से किस टाइप के क्वेश्चन पूछे जाते हैं उस पर वीडियो मैं 1-2 दिन में ही डाल दूँगी। कुछ स्टूडेंट्स की क्वेरीज़ हैं तो वो मैं डाल दूँगी, 1-2 दिन में ही डाल दूँगी। ठीक है, आज के लिए इतना ही। बाय बाय।